This is War Games and War Gamers. My look across the world of conflict and historical gaming. And this is also an announcement for the weekly video chat that I host every Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the War Games and War Gamers video chat is a free and open video chat where we talk about all things related to war games, all different types, formats, the latest stuff we're interested in. Talk some about military history and so forth. Very social and a good time had by all. It's every Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the only thing you need is the link, https://appear.in/bigboard is one word, BIGBOARD, every Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The topic next Saturday will be, are game designers really pushing the envelope these days? Or is there something about the industry that is inhibiting more creativity and innovation in game design? I just want to highlight again the Internet Archive, archive.org, and to point out that it does have some old school games, including war games. So it does have a page, MS-DOS Games. When you go to that page, you will find, 2,668 results. These are all, again, old school DOS games, many titles that will be recognized. And in and amongst here are some of the classic computer war games. If you were at all a fan of those games, you can at least have some nostalgic moments, but there's more. So in the search box there, I put in strategic simulations, and you're going to get in the results a lot of these classic SSI games, including the Dungeons and Dragons titles like Curse of the Azure Bonds, Clash of Steel, World War II, the Great Naval Battles Volume 1, Great Naval Battles Volume 2, Kampfgruppe, Western Front, War in Russia, Typhoon of Steel. So again, a lot of the classic games that you'll recognize right away. So I'm going to go right to a game that I know very well, so I won't get lost. So I entered Strategic Studies for Strategic Studies Group, SSG. And you'll see these are the results come back. You have the classics, Warlords and Warlords 2, Panzer Battles, Reach for the Stars, Gold of the Americas, etc. And now, to show what you can do here, is I'm going to go ahead and select Panzer Battles, and this is the start page. And if you do click the start button there, it will load the game data and it will launch it in DOSBox. And for everybody's benefit, I turn the sound off. And so right here, you can play the game right off the page. So I can select the game scenario, load. I can load Alam El Halfa, two-player game, and play the game right off the page. I can go full screen, and full playing functionality. So a great way, if you have any type of nostalgia, to play just one more time one of those old classic DOS games. In many cases, you'll probably figure out how on earth did you put up with these ancient products, these ancient games, these ancient interfaces, but they are here, and it can be an interesting experience to relook at some of these classic games. Sticking with the SSG theme, I found recently on the Play It Again website, Remembering 1980s Gaming, a page on Strategic Studies Group. So SSG was founded in New South Wales in 1982, so it goes back quite a ways, by wargame specialists Roger Keating and Ian Trout. Keating had previously published 7 computer games with American publisher Strategic Simulations Inc., or SSI, before teaming up with Trout, the proprietor of a military history bookshop and accomplished board gamer. SSG was both a developer and a publisher, so their first game, Reach for the Stars, way back in 1983, is identified with launching the 4X genre of space games. So renowned for the integrity of their historical war games, the company was also renowned for its AI programming, and I know myself, I think that they were experts at designing user interfaces. My part with respect to SSG is entirely through the Battlefront series. Really still worthwhile computer war games. So one, not only do you just get the background on the company, but much more importantly, you can gain access to the old Run 5 magazines, and there are even some videos, discussions with some of those SSG founders. So Run 5 was the in-house publication of SSG that primarily supported all of their titles, and just one of the interesting reasons for having access to an old publication like this is reading these old articles. There are some interesting things to consider with respect to game design, scenario design, not to mention just the more direct information relating to SSG titles. There are historical articles, really a high quality product. So this is just one example. This article about the Battle of Cambrai, or Cambrai, through the mud and blood to the green fields beyond, from the First World War, and it is, as you can see there, primarily it walks a user of the Battlefront game system through creation of this scenario. But first, it has a full historical background article. So you have a full, multi-page background article with pictures and maps. Then you have a full sketch map that takes the Cambrai battlefield and puts it into the the computer game hex map format. Stuck in the Mud. So then you get into, not only is this a block and wire diagram for the forces involved, but this is the start of the information that you would input into the scenario editor in the Battlefront system for creating your own computer game of this battle. Again, you had all of the detailed data for all the units and headquarters, again for the Battlefront system in particular, but still some interesting reading to see how the numbers were put together to create these different types of units with different weaponry. So you actually get pages and pages of unit data, headquarters data, and scenario data for both sides in this scenario, Germans and Allies. Spoils of war. A tank brings in a captured German 5.9-inch gun near Flesquières, 20th November 1917. Note the relaxed manner of the British soldiers within a mile of the fighting. And that was just Cambrai, multi-page historical background, scenario, all the scenario data, everything necessary to create the scenario within the Battlefront system. Again, some interesting information in there that is at least indirectly related to game design and especially scenario design. All interesting stuff. And then it just goes on. That's just one article in this one issue of Run 5. So just an interesting asset out there, resource. And that's Run 5, available through the playitagainproject.org. This is a recent find for me. This is Krigsspel.se, a Swedish wargame site. Reminds me a lot of the Gamebox. But what is especially interesting, it's obviously fully in Swedish, but what's interesting for me is the forum page. And so I'll go right to something that I won't get lost in. The historical games before 1914. And again, you go right down, lots of names that should be easily recognizable. Saints in Armor, Lace Wars, the Musket and Pike series, etc. So, example, I'll go to Newport, a game I haven't played. So here's a page, a poster has uploaded a full AR of the game Newport 1600, but this is full, very nice pictures with graphics, so full AR. So this is going through a play of the game, just really nice. So naturally it's almost entirely in Swedish. Some words here and there are certainly going to be recognizable. But I've had some luck using the Google page translator. Yeah, so some stuff. Soon, time for this. The same system as Avec Infini Regret, but another war, partly the flowed into each other. Yeah, certainly some garbled English, or at least awkward English, very awkward English, but Dutch against the Spanish. So you can get, in many cases, you can certainly get the gist of what the posters are talking about. So, and there's a lot here. There's a lot here. All different types of games. I think you'll probably find a bit more of the European titles here than maybe in other places, but there's still a lot of the mainstream GMT, MMP games featured here. So that's Krigsspel.se. So that's www.krigsspel.se. That's KRIGSSPEL. So this was my first attempt at something I've wanted to do for quite a while. So this is Wargames and Wargamers, my look across the world of historical and conflict gaming. And as well, this will be the time that I will remind everybody that kind of hand in hand with this is a weekly video chat open to all. We have a theme. We have a central topic about pushing the envelope in game design today, but we can really talk about, and we always wind up talking about, a lot of stuff from north to south, east to west, relating to wargaming and military history.